Middle of the night here, Thirdless. Past that near 1 in the morning. Those of you that know me, when the dressing gown is on, it's usually pretty serious. It's something I can't sleep on. I can't sleep and it's going round and round and round my head. Anger. Betrayal. Anyway, thankfully the anger and betrayal is not sat on me personally, but it is to the ITC community, and this is what Truth Seekers is about, exploiting the fraud. Oh, the profiteering is just so deep you don't understand, and I'm going to expose it all for you, along with Wayne from SOUTHBERN Paranormal. Now listen carefully, Thirdlesses. And Mr. Lowly, if you're watching this, you're going to eat your hands right now, because I know you're a fan of this guy, and I know you're going to comment and give it your toxicness. Just remember, Mr. Lowly, I can't read your comments, you're blocked. But you are going to need an education. See that big shiny head of yours? Fucking open your eyes as wide as your shiny head, buddy. Seriously. You're an idiot if you fucking don't get it. Idiot. Trust me. I'm going to show you the pictures and everything. And it's from one little article. Now, this person who's written this article, they're a bit of a cool magazine. They're called ITC Voices or something. And, you know, you could call them as just being a bit biased, a bit bitter even, if it's all text. But then the pictures come into it. Oh, fucking lordy, the pictures. What am I talking about, Thirdless? What am I talking about? Well, by the title, it should be quite obvious what I'm talking about. And with this new Geoport thing that's coming in, I knew it, I fucking knew it. I knew there was a cheap fucking cost box stuck on the side of one of these Geoboxes that cost how much money? £1,000? The most expensive one is $1,750, and then you got shipping and costs on top. Now that's great if you're fucking making your own circuits and everything. That's not happening though. Oh no. No. This guy is building things like HUFF does. HUFF, you don't build anything, by the way, buddy. You stick things together like off-the-shelf parts. So we get a lunchbox amp, which is really shit for spirit communication because it's good for guitar work because it's got mid-range only and no fucking high and low. And then you tap some pedals in, and then you give it a good spray paint, and then you add some Christmas tree lights, and then you add a fucking bit of copper wire on the top, which does nothing. Well, it acts as a good conduit for spirit communication, apparently, but, you know, you make it look like it's something that does something when you stick your fucking stupid hand on top of it, and the stupid little crystals. Again, crystals are allegedly helpful, but, you know, it's art. It's arts and crafts. It's fucking arts and crafts, and the price of these things go for. And I'm going to prove this, not me personally. Wayne is going to show you that you can have, if you want to go down this route of fucking reverbing your stuff, Wayne is going to show you how to have HUFF style fucking reverb, exactly the same as his, if not better, with more selection, 52 pedals to choose from one fucking effects box for a price of about $30. Oh yeah. And he'll show you how to set it up properly. No over-the-top reverb so it sounds all spooky, because we're not trying to do that. We're not trying to drown them out in spook and goo. What are you trying to do? Fucking, oh, you're trying to get subscribers and make it all spooky. No, we want to lift the voices out ever so slightly. That's what we want to do. And here at Truth Seekers, we expose the frauds. That's what we do. I'm already questioning Mr. Buckmaster with his fucking K2 meter that makes fucking weird Geiger sound noises every time he does a session with it. Get back to me on that one, because I'm not completely convinced, like, either way. So let's leave Tom Buckmaster to the side a little minute. Well, yeah, he's been caught out once with fucking a string and a ball, but whatever. This is an entirety of a different nature. We're going back on the subject of the Geobox, or as they put it here, the Griftbox, which sounds more apt. So I can see you spitting out nails, Mr. Lowly. You're spitting nails. Calm down. Go take a fucking seat. Sit up and shut down your big bold fuck. Alright? No, seriously. I fucking don't believe this shit. So, we are going to read an article by ITC Voices, Ghostbox Communication. Please, Mr. ITC Voices, know that I'm doing this for the good of the ITC community. I am the head of Truth Seekers, creator of Truth Seekers, owner of Truth Seekers, along with my two moderators, which is Proving Demons and, let me just wipe the lens, and Jane from... She's in two companies, but Jane from UK Voice Paranormal, I'll list her under for the minute, because that's her own channel, not her team. So listen very carefully, people, and listen hard. Do you understand me? If you're about to think to buy one of these Geoboxes, you can have a Geobox, right? I'm not telling you don't buy the fucking thing. I'm telling you build it yourself for less than £100. Maybe less. If The only thing that is beautiful and majestic about that box is the box, and that's where it ends. And in fact, technically, the original components that are in there, one of these tube radios, he's ruined that. So let's go for it, okay? It's all a big web of lies. It's almost fucking dangerous. It can catch fire if you're not careful. So he is an insult to actual box makers, okay? Both Huff and him are an insult to box makers. Box makers? Who am I talking about? Who made the Coop box? You know that Coop box, you know? Where there's a video, I can't remember the dude who did it now. Quite an English guy, and Greg from Manchester. We don't see him anymore. Why do we not see him anymore? Because he's fed up with people like Huff and fucking Matey Boy. You know, fucking just ruining stuff. These people make actual circuits and solder circuits. Alright, they don't like hand build the resistors literally, but you know, they don't. You'll see what I mean in a minute. It's an insult. People like Andrew Openlander build boxes, you know what I'm saying? Build chapel. People like that do shit. They don't just plug things in and then sell it for £1,000 because they fired some spray paint over it and added some Christmas tree lights and a fucking copper wire handle. Give over, man. For fuck's sakes. Now listen carefully, FIRTLESSes, and you slimy ones too that have just fucking so blind and blinkered, it's unbelievable. That includes you big bald fuck, you understand? Now listen, and you can give me your slimy comments, because remember, Mr. Lowly, you're blocked. I can't read your comments and you can't read mine. But I can soon find out what they say, but you won't be able to see what mine say. So, here we go. Not that I give a fuck what you say, because you don't get it, do you? But that's okay. Your problem, not mine. Let the ghost boxer beware. Ghostbox ITC has been a veritable candyland for people who want to make a quick dollar. There have been a steady slew of profiteers for almost 8 years now. This has been discussed ad nauseum on some group pages. But this is for limited audiences. For that reason, it is time that this problem is recognised on ITC Voices and now on Truth Seekers, so it can be addressed to a larger audience and for those who may need to buy a ghost box in the future. Profiteering all started with radio hacks. When the radios used for hacking were still readily available, individuals would buy them and perform modification that took a couple minutes and resell them for 400%. Still happens today, or more of a radio's value on places like eBay and Facebook. These radios were often mislabeled as frank boxes in order to sell them quicker. For those who are not in the know on how to perform the simple modification, buying a shack hack was one of the best ways to get introduced to ghost boxing in the days before the PSB line was available. We often see the same level of resale profiteering off of boutique boxes like those made by Frank's Box, or Ron Ricketts mini boxes, and of course Joe Chioppi, Joe's Box. I don't know if I pronounced his second name right, sorry, R.I.P.J. Because these pioneers are no longer with us, in fact R.I.P. all of them, what is more baffling to see defunct box models made by people like Andrew Openlander and Andy's Box being sold for a large profit while he's still currently making boxes. Today we still have that type of profiteering going on. I recently checked eBay and saw an armband radio still in original packaging for 3 times the original price, labelled "can be modified for Spirit Box." The radio wasn't even modified but was yet selling for a ridiculous price because it could be modified with little effort. There is another model on the market right now, I think he's talking about the Memorex, now selling for less than $10 generally, but with a 3-minute modification the box becomes $50 or more. Yeah, the Memorex box. Grab one while you can, because that Memorex box is going to go through the roof soon. So all those people who don't have a ghost box right now, Memorex, go, 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 go. But these things pale in comparison with the profiteering going on right now of a new box on the market. Bum, bum, bum. And here it is, Mr. Huff. Here it is, Mr. George Clown. We got ya. And if you're in bed with Huff, it's a big fucking pyramid scheme. It really is. Oh, you don't understand. Let me start off by saying I do not own a Griftbox, as he calls it, Geobox, Griftbox. Excuse me, I mean a Geobox. I would never buy one, and the following article explains why. This article is to inform the ITC Ghostbox community and to point out how this box does the community harm. Lately, a ghost box called a Geobox, made by a previous unknown to the ITC community, George Brown, dubbed Clown after this, burst into the ITC Ghostbox field. Brown packaged a Ghostbox in a very nice, oh yeah, I'm going to give him this, very nice antique cabinet. It looks a shit, it looks like my Bang & Olufsen, it looks beautiful. Antique cabinet that used to house a Stromberg Carlson tube radio. And it kept the fucking Carlson. Never mind. It's pioneering, right? Sacrifices must be made. But that is where the beauty of the box ends. One of these boxes was bought by somebody in the paranormal community with a large following. You can guess who that is, can't you? Steve Bluff, yes. And it was promptly proclaimed as the best box available in no subtle terms by Mr. Huff. He also proclaimed that Mr. Brown is the best box builder today. And that is patently false statement, as we will be demonstrating in this article. There were 5 of these Grift boxes produced and sold. All of them sold for exceptional amount of money, including one that went for $1,750 plus shipping and handling. Fuck off. The audio that comes out of these boxes is decent, but is very wet with reverb. So wet, in fact. Okay, my wet fucking fart. I can't understand a word the Geobox says, but I'm not the best at this, okay, so just let it lie on that one. So wet, in fact, that it is almost to the point where you cannot make out what is being said. If one has to struggle to make out all communication from a box, then at face value, that box is not a viable tool for ITC communication. Hear, hear. This is not to say that a Geobox does not offer communication from the others. From what I have seen from Geobox users, the box will allow for a communication to ensure, but then again, so does a £10 armband radio, and I bet it's fucking easier to understand. That's my own opinion, alright? So don't class that as a fact. One person who bought a Geobox was so disenfranchised with the sound he wound up reselling it. Before he resold it, he kindly took some photos of the Griftbox innards, and what was revealed to the ITC community was nothing less shocking. Not only was there no circuits present, but the box was using an off-the-shelf hacked armband radio. I've paid £1,000 for this box and it used, never mind. Outside of the housing, there is less than $100 worth of parts on a Geobox, yet the box was being sold for an egregious price. We'll take a look at what is inside a Geobox so you can see what constitutes this box. We'll find out why the Geobox isn't a mystical, incredible device filled with mojo. It has the highest potential of any box I've ever used and is quite incredible, said Mr. Huff. But rather a box put together very sloppily that merely tries and fails to imitate what other box builders have been doing for years. Yeah, Steve Huff, Huff Paranormal Facebook group, May the 19th, 2015 was how he put that. First, I recommend reading the article on Huff Paranormal. I can't be asked to read that because it's going to be fucking talking out of his backside about how great it is, it's the best thing ever, and you should all buy one. Well, no, probably doesn't say that because he does say the price is high, but he hints that you need this box because, you know, it's an invaluable tool if we're going to speak to the dead. I have copied word for word some of the stuff written by Steve and the Geobox creator George Brown. All spelling errors are also copied as they appeared on the site. So this is from the builder, designer of this incredible machine, George Clown. This handcrafted ghost box is a major breakthrough in spirit communication like no other in the world. It converts electromagnetic frequencies, listen carefully how it works, radio and spatial distortion vibration to audio. I designed it on a hypothesis that EMF readings are an attempt to communicate vocally, so rather than having a blinking light on an EMF meter, I built this box to allow the EMF field to produce a discernible audio. If that was the case, you know that Geoport thing? It might work differently, but he's lying about how it works anyway. Wouldn't that K2 meter have gone off like a mofo in that building when it didn't? Apart from he said, oh, it went to red, but the camera wasn't on it. Yeah, it stunk. The results are real and recognisable. There are phrases that would not possibly come through from radio transmissions, such as known names, profanity, foreign language, Native Americans, children, and even dogs. What about cat meows? Also, the length with an E on the end of the responses exceeds the scan interval of the receiver. Likely this proprietary design will soon be copied by others, but for now the design is a secret and I exclusively offer this truly unique, groundbreaking device which I'm proud to say does what I hoped it would do. Why am I sounding Indian? I'm building just a very small quantity and I do not know just how many I will make. Now I sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Sorry for the cost, but it is expensive and time consuming to make each one, and with the sale I plan to provide technical support if needed to resolve any issues in future. Yeah, does it come with a free fire extinguisher, by the way? There are a lot of claims in the quote above that are phenomenal. Those are matched by these gems written by Mr. Huff as well. Once again, the spelling and random use of capital letters is directed use here. When a capital letter comes in, you'll know. I can say that yes, claims are 100% valid and correct. The Geobox is huge potential, and I will say it's the most valid box ever created by anyone ever. What I mean by that is it gives non-stop communication and is quiet when there is none valid. No more radio noise scanning is heard. No more radio bits to weed through for the replies. Hey on Mr. Huff, isn't this what you were after in the first place? No more nasty headache-inducing white noise screeching, as it is not needed, just as I said a year ago. Oh, but it is, Mr. Huff, but it is. What you get with a Geobox is a smooth sounding box that has a bit of spookiness to it, as all you hear when on is silence, maybe some electrical hum and noise. That hum is probably, never mind, a noise, but when the spirits talk, they do so freely, and they even seem surprised at how they are able to work this box. Fuck, it works. Sorry, I'm being an asshole now. The EMF antenna, oh, is that what it is, huh? Is part of what is being used to deliver the voices. EMF converted to voice. There is also a spirit box radio inside. Why do you need a spirit box radio inside if it works by EMF converted to voice? But we do not hear the radio, just voices and replies. The way the amps mixer, EMF antenna and spirit box work together here did something to the sound and the way they are able to come through. It's a good thing, what some would call a breakthrough. It's a crazy thing, but it's legit. It's legit. It works and it looks amazing as well. Yeah, it looks amazing. At face value it does. It is not cheap, which puts it in a new price range for a new spirit box. But for me, you just cannot put a price on real valid tools that allow you to talk to the dead. Oh God, you need that so bad, Mr. Huff. You need that so bad. Or whoever we are conversing with. At $800, I have no regrets, as like I said, it has huge potential. So there you have it, folks. This Geobox is the best thing since sliced bread. Valid. Alright? Until we look inside and see how the box matches up with the marketing claims made by Mr. Brown and Mr. Huff. Are you ready for this, Mr. Lowly? Can your brain handle this? Now it runs around, so I'll let it focus, and a close-up of a shot of the judicious use of hot glue inside. An old fucking thing. Okay, go through. This is a COS radio that has been hot. Yeah, gets hot. A £9 Chinese amplifier powers it. A look at the quality connections. Yes. So that's the 3 pictures on that one. Here are more photos that are surfaces of another Geobox design. You can clearly see a £2 crystal feeler. That's what it says there. But yeah, two Jensen boxes in there. But look at the state of it. What the fuck is that? £1,000? It's fucking dreadful. I mean, I don't know if this is coming off well because I'm recording off of a phone, but can you see what I'm saying? Look at the state of the wires. It's just fucking... It's off-the-shelf parts, man. Like the I can't remember, it's bloody cool. The little box, it's like a box that you buy, and it's about $30. Wayne will explain it better in his video, so watch Wayne's video, okay? And he's put the box in, basically. He's not created any circuits himself. £9 Chinese amp, a £9 Chinese amp. I'm paying £1,750 for my top model, and I've got a £9 Chinese amp, even the cheapest one at $800. A £9 Chinese amp, are you fucking shitting me? On shoddy workmanship, the very first thing that struck everyone who viewed these photos was the shoddy and, to be frankly, dangerous level of workmanship. There is a lot of heat generated in these cabinets, and the components are crammed together with no breathing room nor heat sink. When you combine these factors of wood and use of hot glue and wiring taped together without the use of wire nuts, yeah, you heard me. The Geobox goes from being a ghost box to being a fire hazard. In fact, the first Geobox was purchased, remember, he only made 5, caught on fire, and Mr. Brown was not allowed to rebuild it by the person who purchased the box. I can't fucking blame him. Mr. Brown simply does not have the skills to build a safe box. Just think, electrical tape to connect wires on a ghost box would cost him $2,000. Mr. Huff even mentioned this in the review. Here we go. Now, I have no clue if this box will die, burn up, or have issues due to the sloppy wiring inside, but I've let it run for 2 to 3 hours straight with no heating up at all. Nothing even became warm. The first Geobox had issues for the owner, and even caught fire. The designer of the box offered to fix, but the owner decided to have someone else fix it. In any case, I was told there should not be any heating issues with box number 2 and up. Yes, Mr. Huff had no qualms about proclaiming Mr. Brown's the best box maker ever. You know what? Do you think my Chloe's going to catch fire? Do you? Do you think I have to fucking freak out? No fucking chance. And that Geobox is one of the best ITC tools made today without question. Steve Huff, Paranormal Group, 30th of June 2015 on his Facebook. Fuck off. Just fuck off, honestly. I'll say it again. What the actual fuck? Fuck off. If there are kids watching this, I probably apologise, but this is an adult channel. Fuck off. No variable sweep, no circuits. The second thing that had the Ghostbox community aghast was the use of cheap components in a Geobox. We've already discussed the armband tuners as Ghostboxes. In case you are not aware, an armband tuner allows for a single sweep rate that never varies. It changes from channel to channel at the exact same rate each and every time. That's why hacked radios cost much less than boutique boxes, which allow for variable sweep rates. Yeah, on my Chloe box, I can change the sweep rate from very, very fast to just stupid. But I can still change it, you know what I'm saying? Hacked radios without an additional variable sweep. Remember, these radios cost only £10 to £20 average, are decent boxes, but they are used more by entry-level Ghostboxes, I'm sorry. As the technology is now 8 years old, if one pays hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for a box, one typically expects what the more professional box builder offer in their boxes that are readily available today. Multiple modes of sweeping, forward, reverse, linear, random, along with reverb, delay controls, multiple tuners, etc. With the Geobox, there is no variable sweep. There are no modifications demonstrated on these armband tuners that would apply the voltage control necessary. In fact, there is no circuit present in the photographs at all. Every component is plug and play because it is apparently designed by a guy who has no idea about wiring circuits or electronics in general. With that being said, let's take a look at what a professional box builder put into the market today. Go have a look at this. I hope my phone gets it. This is a Frank's box, alright? Look at that. A circuit. That's the speakers, obviously, I'm guessing. Exterior of IDC devices. Ah, fucking phone. Sorry, guys. Come on, you piece of junk. Look. Circuits. Circuits. Not plug and play. Fucking circuits. You know what's going to happen next, though, don't you? The next box someone like this clown's going to do, he's going to unscrew the box and just take a circuit out. Does that make sense? That's what he'll do. That's the sort of thing Huff will do. Look. Like when he said that he programmed the algorithms in his pedals. Richard Lowley, do you really believe he programmed the fucking algorithms in those pedals? No. He spray painted them and pretended that he did. Mr. Huff isn't a fucking programmer. And they're hardwired. You can't program them anyway. It's hardware, not software, you fucking spirit maggot. Fuck's sakes. And this is what we do. Spring reverb. I don't really understand how reverb works. I think that's the sort of thing that's in my guitar amp. Anyway, let's carry on reading, shall we? Do you find this interesting? I hope you do, because I certainly do, considering Huff is championing this guy. I tell you, anything that's got Steve Huff's name on it, just fucking step away from it, alright? Step away. Next we looked at the reverb. The sound of the Geobox device is what we term as wet. I think that's a fucking good term. It is wet. A term used by musicians and audio engineers to describe overly processed audio signal with reverb. The type of reverb used in the first set of photos is known as spring reverb. Spring reverbs are some of the oldest reverbs out there because you simply transduce the audio and put it onto a spring. I literally think that's what my amp upstairs, my guitar amp has. Spring reverb. It's very slightly. I mean, in fact, when you bang it, you can hear the springs go like. Spring reverbs are some of the oldest reverbs out because you simply transduce, I said that bit. At the other end of the spring, a transducer converts a motion to the spring into electrical signal that is mixed with the dry input sound. Not all the audio makes its way out of the spring at once, some stays behind, and this creates a spring reverb sound that is classic and adds a bit of delay. This quantifies how Mr. Brown can say, also the length, this is citation needed into this, of the response exceeds the scan interval of a receiver, psych. The reverb sticks around and has an inherent delay to it, that is why the responses are longer than the radio scan. Spring reverbs are exceptionally cheap and basic, one input, one output. They're also very outdated as there is no control of the amount of reverb that is created. Well, maybe mine isn't then, because I can control my reverb. There's not a lot on it though, it's a very tiny amount even at full blast. The spring reverb used in this device is made by a company out of South Korea called Accutronic. The Accutronic manual spring reverb sell for $15 to $25 depending upon model. Reverb is not a new addition to ghost boxes by any means, but the use of a spring reverb, or reverb tank as it is often called, that's what you're on about, Wayne, is reverb was first envisioned by Frank Sumption, who created an echo chamber that was first an exterior device and later incorporated in some of his boxes. And the first guy to do it on YouTube is John Huntington. Hey Huff, where's John Huntington's credit? Where is his credit? Asshole. The ones that are made of metal offered reverberation due to the choice of materials being used. Steve Holte, had the idea of using a prefabricated reverb circuit in his devices and was the first to have realised reverb in Ghostbox. Andrew Opelander later used this circuit to perfection on his Model E boxes and later added additional functionality in his PRD 1000 boxes by incorporating feedback and delay controls, although the first to do this was Frank Sumption in his last run of his boxes in 2014. See, these are real box makers, not this fucking George Clown, no way. Additions from professional box builders were via circuit, not an off-the-shelf reverb that can be connected to any audio signal via a pre-made cable like in the fucking Griftbox, Geobox, a heap of junk, other than the box. In fact, if I ever got one of those things, I'd gut it and start again. Reverb definitely has a place in Ghostboxing, it does. This is my opinion, reverb does have a place in it. Smidgen. Lift the voice out, not fucking overuse it. Anyone who uses reverb, whether it be an Andy's model box or Geobox, will notice that there is no noise or popping. That is because reverb blends the frequencies together to allow a smoother sound. Think of singing in a tile shower as a reverb effect. Good boxes reverb can be bought for a fraction of the price of a Geobox. Yes, they fucking can. And like I said, if you want a fucking HUFF Willy Wonka box, Wayne can get you one, or have the same thing pretty much for $30 if you look hard enough. Wayne will show you this on his videos soon. He's also doing a video on the Griftbox, Geobox. Yeah, we're exposing the fuckers. Fucking enough is enough. This is the boldest claim made by Mr. Brown, in case you forgot what was written by him. I designed it on a hypothesis. Yeah, I remember this. I designed a hypothesis that EMF readings are an attempt to communicate vocally. So rather than having a blinking light on EMF meter, I built this box to allow the EMF field to produce a discernible audio. The results are real and recognisable. That's right. Instead of an LED, he included a bona fide EMF to audio transducer. For those who do not know what EMF is, it stands for electromagnetic field. The EMF spectrum consists of all waves made of photons, radio, gamma, X-ray, microwave, etc. These waves are simply light packets vibrating at different frequencies. They can travel through a vacuum. Ace, huh? There's a little diagram there, but you don't fucking need that, do you? A little diagram. Radio waves, microwaves, infrared, visible light. What is not part of the electromagnetic spectrum? Sound. Sound is a pressure wave, not light wave. Sound also requires a medium to pass through in order to be heard. There is no sound in a vacuum. Very true. By stating that he has designed a box to convert EMF to audio sound, he is stating that the device can convert light packets to sound. Huh? In other words, that aerial is a fucking aerial, nothing more. Yes, this box has that capability. It's called a radio. All ghost boxes have this capability because a radio tuner converts EMF on the form of radio waves to an audible sound. But the way he packages it, a special EMF antenna, that's what I'm talking about, is pure drivel. It is overhyped marketing jargon, a bit like HUFF's, loaded with 200% positivity to get you to the higher spirit levels. Shut up. to make the Bliss box seem above the rest in the ghost box field. While technology is not a lie, it is misrepresented at its finest. Note the crystal feeder used in the second set of photos. This is an antenna used to help the radio signal strength. The use of the crystal feeder came in about 2014 when Andrew Openlander started packaging them with his Andes box from Chicago Spirit Wave as an optional antenna. They're basically boxes of crushed crystals with an output. After copious amounts of testing with dozens of ghost boxes, there's really no discernible difference between using a 2-pound feeler versus a regular antenna wire. The Ghostbox community knows this already, but yet Mr. Brown apparently never got the memo since he included it in at least one of his models. Bless him. Watching some of the videos of these grift boxes being used piqued my interest, especially in relation to the EMF antenna. First of all, EMF antenna is made of copper. It looks cool, so it must do as it says, right? This is what they fucking are prying on. Notice how wide the antenna is in comparison to normal antenna. From the size alone, the fact that it's connected to the box itself is a decent sized diameter. We can properly assume that there is something in that EMF antenna that goes to the box. It wasn't until I paid close attention to some of the videos out of it and I realised what was going on with this antenna that supposedly transposes EMF to audio. There is no reason why the antenna is sealed. It's because there is a microphone capsule hidden inside of that antenna. I don't think it's got a close enough picture to show you, but that is the antenna on our grift box. Come on, camera, focus. Geobox. Alright, it's a big fat thing. The video below is a quick pieces of demonstration video were originally posted in Offline Paranormal Steve Huff. In the Offline video, notice how the LEDs on the front of the Geobox are picking up the song that is played, and as the phone gets closer to the box, the song becomes louder. This is how microphones work. So that aerial is a microphone. I'm not going to play the video because Mr. Huff will try and attempt to do me for copyright because he wants to silence everything that people do. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. But look at it. It does look the part, doesn't it? It's a pretty, pretty box. And that's where the prettiness ends. Sort of prefer Chloe anyway, because Chloe was made out of an urn for your pet. That's more connected to the dead than... Oh, a beautiful tube radio was destroyed to make that piece of shit. A beautiful tube radio. Oh, this fucking moron. In the Steve Huff video, this is the most damning evidence of all regarding the EMF antenna. Notice when Huff turns the box on, there is a gradual feedback rising in the background. It sounds like a ringing in the ears, and Mr. Huff needs to lower the volume to suppress the feedback. I've heard that actually. I thought it was just, I don't know what I thought it was. This is the classic telltale sign of a microphone being present. Remember that. If feedback starts kicking in, Huff turns it down, there's a microphone somewhere. Why is there a microphone somewhere? Don't know, work it out. There's a reason though, isn't there, right? Like, you never see him actually turn his box to sweep, ever. He never shows you, right, oh, I'm going to hook up this Jensen and we're going to, you know, put it from my Willy Wonka box. But you don't actually see him hit the sweep, ever. And he's not in shot. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, Mr. Lowly. This is damning, my friend. Absolutely fucking damning. But you'll go, no, you lot are a bunch of haters. We're haters for a fucking reason, dude. Gee. And there are many, many Mr. Lowlifes out there. Hundreds of them. They're all suckering it up. A lot of them are just in the dark and they don't know. Those are not the people I have a problem with. People who are uneducated, don't know. They're not Kool-Aiders. They're in the dark. People like Mr. Lowly are a serious Kool-Aider. They just fucking... I don't understand how they don't get it. They just believe it. Total. When you've been getting what he captures, then you're really doing spirit communication. I haven't heard anything near spirit communication from Huff anywhere. Fucking random words. And you know one of the reasons why he's not doing so well in spirit communication? Do you realise Mr. Huff usually sweeps at 350 to 500 milliseconds? That is so slow. Yeah, I know what Mr. Huff sweeps his radios at. Because I know what radio he uses most of the time. And why does he use that radio? Yeah, I'm not in the dark about this. I'm not just on a hate Huff campaign, you know, without reason. Anyway, where were we? It's all about microphones being present, weren't we? So, it explains how An audio feedback loop is exceptionally undesirable. It happens when a microphone is too close to a speaker or when a speaker is too loud. This causes the microphone to pick up the original sound source or that same sound source played out of the speaker with a minimal delay. These frequencies build and feedback happens. It slowly rises to an ear-splitting pitch, which it fucking does. I've had it loads of times, it hurts. Anybody who knows anything about live audio knows how to use volume control and about putting mics so close to the speaker output. These things need to be considered in order to prevent this kind of thing happening. Nirvana were buggers for this. I love Nirvana for their screechy stuff when they did it, but they did it, you know, a bit tastefully. Another telltale sign of in the HUFF video is that when he pushes the buttons, you can physically hear the click come through the gearbox itself. The microphone is picking up the sound of the clicking, as is the spring reverb. The mic signal is being fed to the reverb tank as well. Another demonstration video, but I'm not going to play it because Mr. HUFF is not doing me for copyright. No way, this is staying out there. So, and you can't call this defamation of character either because it's fucking true. So an EMF to audio antenna, not just a microphone, and as explained enough, sound is not part of the EMF spectrum, so at the least Mr. Brown is misrepresenting the pre-made radio tuner he is using as the EMF to audio converter. At worst, he is lying or simply does not know what he is talking about. In any of these cases, that certainly does not qualify him as the best box maker ever there is. I nearly choked on that. It also explains how Mr. HUFF unplugged his radio and then heard voices through just the antenna, as he reported on his HUFF Paranormal Facebook page. Like, that wasn't paranormal, Mr. HUFF. Oh shit. Debunking stuff can be a bit upsetting, actually, you know, gutting, but you'd rather know the truth, right? I've had it before, I've gone, oh shit, something's paranormal, I can't think of anything. And then, like, weeks later we find, oh, that's what it was. But I don't want to be in the dark about these things. You find something debunked, debunk it. You know, my dinosaur, if I really ever find an explanation for it that's not spirit, I'll debunk it. You know, I've changed batteries and moved it in certain places. Yeah, you know, like I say, it can go off for hours or nothing. Lately, when you turn it on, it's there all the time, but I've built up a bit of rapport with Dave. You know, David, I'm always doing it at the same time. Like I said, the thing that gave it to me of the dinosaur, and it's only ever done it once, but it wasn't just me that heard it, my wife too. The dinosaur said good morning to us in a deep fucking voice. We had a session one night, it was going it was J at the time, it was going J, 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 J. Maybe different spirits like different letters, I don't fucking know. But yeah, we finished the session and it went quiet, and I forgot to turn off the dinosaur because it was quiet. I put the dinosaur next to my bed, went to sleep. That was before I had the voodoo station, as I call it, and that black cabinet in the corner of all my gubbins. And we woke up and well, morning dear wife, love you. And as I said good morning, the dinosaur said good morning to both of us. We were like, what the fuck? It was loud, it was clear. So that is why I fully believe my dinosaur is being manipulated by spirit, because it fucking spoke to us. It doesn't have a good morning sound bank in it. It has push a letter button, a high pitched voice, not a deep gruff fucking demonic evil sounding deep good morning. It wasn't really a scary thing in terms of what it said. It was just a voice just come from a toy. What the fuck? And lately we're starting to fuck about the toys downstairs. My wife did a spirit box session today in the morning while I was out. She didn't really get much, but they were fucking about the toys, and she heard the word spirit and trying, so they're trying to talk, but you know, it's hard to catch it live sometimes. She didn't record it. It was just a quick, oh, get the boxes making noises, you know. Anyway, it appears they are learning how to use it just by using the EMF antenna, which is, this is HUFF's word, which is turning the EMF to voice. Now this sounds unreal, but it's working. The only problem is the voice is very low volume and sort of muffed, like distant, coming very low and muffled. There is an explanation for that. The mic capsule is covered by a metal enclosure. No matter how good the voice comes through, it will always be muffled for this reason. Instead of voices from the other side, one will simply hear their own voice plus any ambient sounds for a spring reverb, all courtesy of an internal antenna mic. But wait, there's more! What's that off of? Oh, Scream, isn't it? You know, where they're going about, like, the evil plan of killing everybody. Recently, Mr. Brown agreed to produce 10 more geoboxes, but not in a traditional sense. It had already been made known that Mr. Brown wouldn't produce any more geoboxes past the 5th one made. The reason given was that the tuners were getting hard to come by. Interesting enough, there are plenty of cheap armband radios still on the market that could be hacked in a couple of minutes. There are also a limited number of pre-made receiver circuits that are available with a mouse click. Shouldn't the best box maker there is know this? Solution was arrived on 2nd of June 2015. Steve Huff started marketing a new version of the Geobox that had all the bells and whistles, but no radio included. On June 3rd, he published details on Mr. Brown on his Facebook page. The new box will have the same internal components as the original Geobox, 1 through to 5, but without the radio inside. All the other components to improve response will still be inside, including EMF, vibration pickup and rechargeable battery. With a new box, you'll be able to plug in any amplification-based smartphone, tablet and computer or scanner radio so it's a fucking Bluetooth speaker really, without the Bluetooth. It's a fucking what? Tablet and computer or scanner radio to provide the source audio for spirit communication. Any spirit box app with an audio output. The box will also include the green LED frequency display behind the grille. Yeah, that's kind of cool looking, but not worth $1,000, man. That cool little graphic equalizer thing. That's the only good thing about it. And it does just looks, that does nothing for communication. Box appearance. The box will generally appear like the image below and designed for the same cabinet dimensions. The speaker cover will be different but will include the same classic aged brass look. The box will not be an antique but will be made of laminated wood and built by hand. Dial knobs and other hardware may vary based on availability. Price and delivery. The price of each of these 5 boxes will be for a fucking Bluetooth speaker without the Bluetooth. You having a laugh? £799 plus shipping up front. I need build time of 6 to 8 weeks before shipping the first 5. Fuck. The next 5 pre-orders will have an 8 to 10 week build time before shipping bonus. Oh. I do have to admit, it is a sexy looking radio-less ghost box for only £800 up front plus shipping and handling. I shouldn't even to mention it, but I will anyway. The premise of the Ghost Box is that scanning radio provides communication without a radio. This Huff Edition Geobox is not a Ghost Box, but rather a repackaged signal processor with an exceptionally large price tag considering the components being used. Look at this. Yeah, it looks cool, but that is it. It ends at the good looking bit. And I bet you fucking Huff has airbrushed this up, so it looks a fucking even better. Any blemishes on it or whatever, you know. Huff Paranormal Edition is $800, not including the radio. Photo originally published by Huff Paranormal. Not surprising, with a couple of weeks, all 10 signal throughput Geo models were pre-sold as well as announced. That puts a GeoGrift on the charts as taking well north of $10,000. 10 Huff Edition Geoboxes at 800p, suppose 800. Mr. Huff paid for each of his Geoboxes 2 and 3, and the auction totals of boxes 4 and 5, which sold for $1,750, all in a span of only 4 weeks. Not bad. See what I mean? 10 grand or more in fucking under 4 weeks. It's mismarketing, man. You're misrepresenting what you're doing. It's disgusting. So what is a signal throughput? As an old audio engineer, there is some basic schematics of what I believe the Geobox is doing. I don't want to say the word believe. Can you see that? Is it focusing? And sorry about my cracked screen. Yeah? Yep, there it goes. You get the gist though. It really isn't rocket science. Anyone can put this together the way Mr. Brown did. One could simply use good audio software that will give you all the same effects, or as an alternative, one could use a hack in tandem with professional audio reverb, an audio mixer and a recorder. It's simple to do and still costs a lot less than a fucking Geobox. So, in conclusion, because this is one of my longest videos, I've been going over 40 minutes, I told you I'm fucking declaring war. In conclusion, I've been a public figure in the Ghostbox field since 2010 when I started this site. I've used them longer than that. During that time, I've given almost 50 public demonstrations to large audiences in real time. I spoke at conferences, been interviewed countless times for radio and even television. As part of a Ghost Hunter television show in which I used a mini box plus in 2010, I've written more articles on Ghostbox than anyone currently living. I've helped educate the field as a whole and have never made a profit from my efforts. I give knowledge freely, expect nothing in return. In short, I love this field. Ghostboxing is a passion of mine and it means the world to me and for as many others as well. Through my years, I've earned the respect of my peers through my hard work, dedication. There is payment enough for all the years and money I put forth in this field. I don't want to write this article because I know that by publishing its content, some of my peers will no longer associate with me. I realise now that protecting the integrity of the Ghostbox I feel as a whole is worth losing a few friends. I'm okay with this. As am I, buddy. Good on ya. One thing I'm not okay with is grift, especially the Ghostbox community. There are a lot of people who look towards leaders in this field for advice, myself and Mr. Huff included. I hate to cast dim light on this field, but this article needs to be written in order to show how Mr. Brown and Mr. Huff, through supporting his work, are doing disservice to the field with these Geoboxes. That is a definition of grift, obtaining money through swindles and frauds. Fucking roll on. The claims of Mr. Brown's are not correct. His box is shoddily made and is a fire hazard. It is proven by his first sold box catching fire. There's no EMF to voice antenna, but rather a microphone. The parts used cheap and easy plug into one another with almost no soldering. Mr. Brown is not a box builder, but rather a box assembler who charges an enormous sum for very little work other than buying pre-made parts and gutting old radios that are probably worth more in the first place. Think about it, the Geobox went from an obscure box to one that is in the limelight in the span of a few weeks thanks to heavy online promotion of Steve Huff to his followers. Within the same span of time, Mr. Huff went from describing the box as having build quality that is subpar inside where it looks like a rat's nest of wires, bad tape jobs and sloppy layouts, May 2015, to proclaim it as one of the best ITC tools made today without question on the 30th of June, like less than a month later. Are you fucking kidding me? A month and 10 days, sorry. During the same amount of time, Steve Huff formed a relationship with Mr. Brown in order to market the new HUFF Paranormal Edition after box. Caveat emptor, so buyer beware. There have always been people in the Ghostbox community who want to take your money, and the same holds true in the broader paranormal community as well. There will always be people who overcharge for a product. There will always be a product misrepresentation. Then there are people like Mr. Brown who overcharge, I'm going to call him Mr. Clown, who overcharge by entire decimal points for a box that is not original anyway. Everything in that box has been done before, except and EMF to voice antenna, of course, and the Ghostbox builds of today do it much better. These are people who have built several boxes and are worth getting to know. Despite Mr. Huff proclaiming that all of them is evil, yeah, Mr. Huff, we're all fucking evil. Yet Mr. Huff has had a box built by most of these builders and at separate times proclaimed that Andy's box, the Andrew's box, and the Greg Manchester's white box, oh really, as being the best box on the market. That is until he could find a builder that would let him put his name on a ghost box that isn't a ghost box at all, but rather an overpriced signal processor. Real ghost box builders for real ghost boxes. There are several people building one-off ghost boxes for themselves and friends. They are not included in this list. This list comprises of people who have had their hands burned with solder more times than they can count building various ghost boxes. These are the builders that have put in the time and making breakthroughs. These are the builders that have helped solidify foundation laid by Frank Sumption, Ron Ricketts and Joe Coyope. These are the real ghost box builders. These are the ones whose products have earned the trust of not only myself but hundreds of ghost box users. Andre Willart, Andy's box. Andrew Openlander, Andy's box. Greg Manchester, Greg's box. So if you want to get a ghost box in the future, you'll be best served to work with people who are known in the field for producing boxes that work right every time. You know what you are getting with these guys, as there are hundreds of videos online, their products, and they have never had to lie about functionality, sell a box. They are active in the community and approachable by everybody. Although Greg Manchester, not so much now, he's been burnt so many times by assholes out there, right? He's sort of taken a back seat, which is really shame because his boxes are pretty cool. By everyone. Unlike Mr. Brown, who is still known by everybody except Steve Huff and a few people that have bought his boxes, and to this day, none of the listed ghost box builders have created a box that is caught on fire. Fucking have it. Bang! Mr. Huff would like me to include the fact that he is not receiving 1 penny off his promotion of either the Geoboxes or the HUFF Paranormal Editions currently in promotion. Okay then. So there you go. That's it. I'm sorry I can't find your name who wrote this article, but ITC Voices, I'm sure you're someone I do know or have come across before, or you know, you're obviously an important part of the ITC thing, but your name's not on it. It doesn't say by whoever. But thank you so much for that article. That was amazing. This article was put up by TRUTHSEEKERS by Mortuary Manor ITC. Thank you, Mortuary. Yes, Mortuary Manor ITC. Mortuary has taken a little break because he's had some bad things. He's got some excellent evidence. Working with the dead since 1992. He actually does embalm dead people, so he really does work with the dead. So Mortuary Manor, better known as Jeff. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Jeff, get better, my friend. I hope you can return soon with better health. You're a cool guy and you do get some fucking really good evidence, so check out his channel. He doesn't have 1 million subscribers. He should have a lot more than he does, so fuck me, his evidence is pretty good, pretty damn good. He's got various boxes he has had. He's had to get rid of them because his operation, and USA is very funny about paying for your operations. It's very expensive. One good thing about Britain, we have the NHS, even if it did fuck up my nose. Metal. Anyway, take care, FIRTLESSes. Thank you for sticking with me for fucking 50 minutes. Yeah, the war is on. Eat that, I'm going to tag as well. Bye-bye. FIRTLESSes and slimy FIRTLESSes and Mr. Lowly. I hope that was an education for you.